All right, there we go. Thank you for coming on here. I mean, what's really nice about this show is we try to showcase simple recipes that people make and, well, get people inspired to cook. I mean, it seems like that's what you do regularly is you get inspired to, you inspire people to eat good food. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. So,
yes.
What inspired you to get cooking really good, healthy food, and what inspired you to pick this recipe?
So this recipe is just pretty basic, simple. I love like Thai food, Chinese food, things like that, but I just can't eat out anymore at places that serve it just because of ingredients that are being used. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder years and years ago. So how I eat really depicts how I feel and how.
I don't think you're very alone in that. I think a lot of people don't realize how much food makes them feel.
Yeah. So for me to keep my autoimmune under control, diet plays a huge part. And I want to be able to eat food that I love and that I miss, but eat it in a better way, a healthier way.
I've actually found out that gluten makes me depressed.
Really?
Yeah, it's like literally like, I don't know. If it's almost like I get drunk and disorderly, and then the next day I'm like depressed. So
I'm not surprised.
So I posted the ingredients list. If we could go over the ingredients here, I've got a pile of them piled up on my counter here. Honestly, the only thing I had to buy was the sprouts. Like I don't usually do sprouts when I do, but like I always keep rice noodle in my kitchen because I absolutely love rice noodles. But
yeah. And the sprout, I won't be using sprouts because they affect me. But if you want to use sprouts, you can. I know a lot of people like sprouts.
Yeah, as an optional garnish, yeah, you can put lemon wedges or, bean sprouts or chili flakes. Now, one thing I really got addicted to recently was the fresh noodles. Since I went to Thailand,
oh yeah,
I started. But here, of course, they come fresh frozen. It's like, but what other ingredients do we have?
I got these at the co-op in Carbondale.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and these are super easy. They're just the little round things. And I found, obviously you don't have to do this. It's more of just a fun thing. But I got a little, I don't know if you can see it, but right over here is a little ramen maker. You know how Walmart has the little grilled cheese makers and waffle makers? They have a little ramen one now too for like $10.
What?
Wait, yeah. Tell me more. Little ramen
so if
maker?
You like if you're just wanting like a smaller recipe, I like these little machines because then you don't have to make a full thing of it. But it's just a little ramen.
Can you turn your camera or bring it into? I am so here for this. Look, honey, it's a tiny little ramen pot. We need this. I
don't understand.
It's from Walmart. It's your favorite store.
Does it cook the noodles or does it produce the dry noodles?
Nope, I already cooked them in there.
Ooh.
It took me like
Thank you.
All you do is like put some water in, put that on. It took less than 10 minutes. It was done.
So it's like a rice cooker for noodles.
Yeah.
Thank you. You are the best. This is the best.
But it just makes cooking a little more fun when you have cute little gadgets, I think.
Just like, well, one of the cute gadgets you were talking about, a spiralizer, you get to use that. But now I was able to get at the farmer's market, they were actually sold out of regular chicken. I was able to get ground chicken, but I had in my freezer some chicken thighs. What I like about this recipe is you can very easily make it vegan because it doesn't have the fish sauce or someone who's allergic to fish, but you use ketchup. And for a lot of people, they're like, that's really weird. But ketchup is originally from, I've learned on this cooking show, that ketchup is originally from China, and it was originally fish-based.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like over the years, they've made it into a tomato base. So, all right. Let's get cooking.
Okay. So we can start if you guys want. I did a lot of pre-prep since it's my first time.
No, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, well.
I didn't know.
It's all right.
Don't shoot me. I didn't know.
It's all right. I like to show realistically how long things take to go. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Now, one thing, if you have the dry noodles, I learned that if you just soak them in water.
Yeah.
That's how. And they cook like in a minute in a stir fry. So I've learned that one. So, all right. What do we need to do first? I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about the pre-prep part. So
what do you have pre-prepped? And I'll get on it real quick.
So I have my chicken cooked, and I have the like my veggies chopped up, and the zucchini noodles. I already spiralized them. I didn't make the sauce yet.
You have extra zucchini that you can show us how that happens?
No.
I've always wanted to see that, and I've never seen it in real life.
So. I'll have to do this again and do it. But no, I wasn't sure how it worked. Okay. So I was like, I better have it done. But we can start out if you guys want to get your chicken cooking, if you haven't already. You can go ahead and have that cooking. You can season it up if you want. It's more of a preference thing. If you want to put onion powder, garlic, sea salt, even some of the chili flakes, depending on your spice level. I don't really like things too spicy. I just like a hint of spice. So if you want-
at the farmer's market, I did pick up, these are lion's mane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have a taste of crab. So, you know, you're making more like a seafood pad thai if you make it with these type of mushrooms.
Yeah. I used to get the little containers they had of that, and it was in powder form.
Ooh.
So then you could just like sprinkle it on your food.
This is my first, I just got this new heavy duty stainless steel wok.
Oh, cool.
So what I'm doing is in the bowl, I put my dry noodles to start soaking in water. And if they're soaked in water, this is how I saw it in Thailand. They would either use fresh noodles or they would have the dry noodles soaked in a bowl already, and then they would just toss it in a thing. Now the chicken, you're cooking it without any seasonings at all?
No, I just said if you want to put some seasoning on there, like some maybe onion powder, garlic powder. If you want to add some spice, maybe some of the chili flakes, sea salt, pepper, even if you want. Make sure you put a little bit, maybe a tablespoon of oil in the pan.
It's too humid here. My garlic powder is clumped up. All right. All right. Now, did you cook it with oil at all, or just? Yeah.
Just put a little bit of oil in your pan. You can even pre-dice it up if you want. Cut it into cubes or slices, however you like eating your chicken in the pad thai.
So I usually do, when I do the cooking show, I do a small, really fancy batch. And then I do a very big batch that I give away. So the big batch, I was thinking I would just get these chicken thighs and I'd put them in the pressure cooker, the Instant Pot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just cut mine up into little pieces.
So now, usually when you see pad thai made, it's usually like whipped together really quick. So it seems like it's really fast.
Yeah.
And that's because there's a lot of prep done ahead of time.
Yep.
Really all they do, what do they, with the pad thai, usually just fry a bunch of stuff together, right?
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot. Like pad thai is a really actually simple meal to make. It looks fancy, like when you go out and they serve it up, but it's super simple. It would be a good meal to meal prep for the week.
Ooh. So how would you meal prep it? Like
I would, if it were me, I would make everything together except the noodles. I would wait and make the noodles the day that I wanted to eat it. And with these noodles that I have, that I got at the co-op, or I'm sure you can order them, they're just little individual packets. So this would be good to pack with.
Are those fresh or dried?
They're dry.
Okay.
So you could cook that up real quick the day of, while everything else is already cooked and in your containers.
Yeah, I buy these little, these are little rice noodles for when I make my personal ramen. Like I'll use these. I like them.
Did you get them in Carbondale at the international store?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to say these, I mean, maybe it's $2 for this whole packet.
Yeah.
And I've got eight soup mixes. So yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So I've got the chicken frying. I put a couple garlic cloves in there because I always like to fry garlic cloves. And
I don't eat a whole lot of garlic, but I know a lot of people do.
Now, vegetable wise, I guess you could stir fry pretty much any vegetable for pad thai, but
yeah, you could throw in some snap peas, even cucumber, whatever it is you like that you want to add.
Cucumber.
Yeah.
My favorite meal I ever had was stir-fried cucumbers and carrot tops.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Chinese dish. And I've never had it since, but except when I made it. All right, so let's see. If I don't have the spiralizer,
you can just slice them, or you can dice them. You don't necessarily have to spiralize it. I like to spiralize them because I think it just looks prettier. Yeah, and I like zucchini noodles.
Can you show us how they look?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that looks really cool.
And honestly, if you wanted to, if you're not like a pasta person, you could just make this pad thai with the zucchini noodles. You wouldn't even need the little ramen noodles.
No, don't say that. I just like it.
Well, if you're trying to watch like your carbs or something, like you could cut back because both of these would be loaded in, I mean, it's good carbs, but still.
So what do you think the secret of what makes Thai food so wonderful?
Real Thai food?
Yep. Or
I think because they add a lot of sugars and salt, and a lot of the pre-made sauces they use is loaded and stuff. So I think that adds to the flavor and making you want it more. But I think you can still benefit from making it cleaner, and it still tastes good. I use coconut aminos a lot instead of soy sauce, because soy, like I as a woman avoid soy because I know that it affects our hormones, and they put soy in pretty much everything anymore. Even if you have a package that says tocopherols parentheses vitamin E, most of it is soy derived. So I try to avoid it because I know it's a hormone disruptor, and use coconut aminos instead. Coconut aminos is loaded in B vitamins, which we don't get enough of. A lot of people take supplements. So for me, that's a way to up my B vitamins.
Now's the time of the year to do zucchinis. They're so huge. What's the difference between coconut aminos and coconut vinegar?
I mean, other than, I've got both of them here. Other than just, I don't really know, other than one is just more acidic than the other.
When I lived in the Cayman Islands, I absolutely loved the coconut vinegars I could get at the farmer's market. And I should have learned how to make them, but
yeah,
it was just.
I mean, the aminos is, I mean, they're both made from the sap. It's just, this one is just has the acidity added to it. I like coconut vinegar as a dressing base, a salad dressing base.
Okay. Yeah. It has a slight sweetness to it. That's a good natural sweetness. And
yeah.
So it's got, yeah. I think the best thing about Thai food is it hits all the flavor centers.
Yeah, it does.
And they use a lot of fresh ingredients. So
you can pretty much sky's the limit with all the vegetables you can put in there.
And look at different colors, but also look at seasonal. Like right now,
yeah,
zucchini is really good to put in here because we got a lot of it. All right.
Yeah,
so
I should have put broccoli in there too. Broccoli would be a good one.
I don't know what it is about me, but I don't really care for broccoli. It's not that I hate it, but it just seems overused.
Oh, but, yeah.
That's me. So, all right. Chicken's ready. I think I just start adding the different veggies to it, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, go for it.
So you can, if your chicken's done, you can set that out like on a plate or something. You can use the same pan if you don't want to dirty another. But what you're going to want to do is put a little bit of oil in that pan without the chicken. And you're going to want to toss your zucchini noodles or dices in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to make sure they're still a little bit tender. So you don't want to leave them in there longer than that.
So you just do a quick crisp on the outside.
Yeah.
But so here's that huge package of rice noodles just soak in a few minutes and now they're soft and tender.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Just ready to, so like when you go to stir fry it. All right.
So yeah, we're gonna toss our zucchini noodles in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we're going to want to take these out and put them in a bowl. You can lay some paper towels down in the bowl and try to soak up the moisture from the noodles.
So you're trying to keep the noodles dry.
Yeah, kind of crisp.
All right. I don't think I've ever used ground chicken. This is really nice. It cooks really quick.
Yeah.
Just like, I think I might buy some more of that from the farmer's market to make some chicken burgers.
Yeah, that would be good.
All right. Put a little oil to. Now you're just doing the zucchini, not the carrots also.
Nope, just the zucchini right now.
All right.
And just kind of toss it around in the oil. I'm waiting on my pan to warm up a little more.
You're doing it like medium high heat, maybe?
Yeah.
You want to do kind of a hot crisp to the outside?
Yeah.
I guess, and yours are really small because you spiralized them, yeah?
Mine are like this. Mine are thin.
Well, I got this. I actually should try this tool. I actually think this tool is spiralized. This is a hand cranker. Let's give it a try. It's got.
All right, mine's warming up now.
While we're doing this, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about your business? Because you've turned what was, I guess you could say, a problem in your life to be getting good food and spread it so that you can provide good food to other people.
Yeah. So I started, I became an established LLC in January. I own Taste of Balance, which is a healthy meal prep business. My motto is eat real food. So with every dish I have, there's no added sugars, added preservatives, chemicals. Like I try to find the best ingredients possible for everything, produce, meats, whatever it is I'm using. And then I also try to educate all my customers as well and teach them how to read labels and what to shop for. And even I show them things that I buy at different locations like Sam's, Kroger, Walmart, so they have an idea too. And just help them kind of replace things in their home that they're already using that isn't necessarily the best thing for them, for their health.
Until you've gone to like other countries, people don't really realize how chemical food is in America.
Oh yeah.
It's like how artificial food is.
Well, and it also explains why, you know, we have so many diseases. We have childhood obesity, you know, we have so much going on here. And I just truly believe that most of it is diet related. Okay, so I dumped my zucchini noodles in a bowl with a paper towel at the bottom just to kind of help soak up the moisture. You can also put a paper towel on top and kind of just mash it down a little, try to soak up some of that moisture.
I'm always cooking 5 times the standard recipe, so it'll take me a few minutes longer because I cook. So I got this.
I'm gonna show you guys real quick. My husband just got home, so I'm gonna have him show you the spiralizer we have. And he's gonna spiral the zucchini real quick. He found one.
Yeah, I've got this. Let's see, where's a bowl? This is, I don't really think it's a spiralizer as much as a grater.
Where did we get this? We got this one at Kroger in Marion. It's just like a plastic one, but it works great.
So like, that's what it just did with my carrots. It just made that version. I've got like
with your hand
5 different attachments. Let's see which
there
one.
See I like this. See all the long noodles and
oh
stuff.
Wow.
So I love it, especially if you want like some kind of pasta dish, but like don't really want to use pasta. It's a good replacement. Okay, so after we do that, we get our zucchini in the bowl. We're gonna let that rest for a few minutes, and we're gonna add some more olive oil to our pan. And then we are going to add.
You cook each thing separately.
Yeah, well, just that part right there. We're gonna toss in other things together. So now we're going to add our chicken back to this pan. I'm gonna cut mine down maybe on medium low since it's still really warm. And then we're going to add our bell peppers and onion to that mix as well.
Let's see. I don't remember onions being on there, but onions should be a standard. I might
have missed that. If you don't have onion, that's okay. If you want, if you have onion powder, you could do that.
So I love onion and bell pepper, and I want to add those to mine, and I happen to have them. How are you cutting them up? What's their shape?
So I have a dicer, so I just diced mine, both the onion and the peppers.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna let the chicken, the peppers, the onion cook for a few minutes, and then we're going to add our egg to the mix and fry that up in it. And feel free to add any kind of seasoning to this as we go.
The only reason you took the zucchini out is it cooks too much.
Yeah, and it cooks fast, and with zucchini, it can get really like kind of sloppy, like a overly wet noodle. So I want to kind of keep it kind of crisp a little.
Cut up some onions and put it in there.
Yeah, sorry about the onion part.
What are you doing? Breaking up chicken?
Yeah, this was ground chicken, and I just put it in there and I cooked it all in one big patty, and now I'm chopping it up and then adding the onion and peppers. Now, what are some vegetables you wouldn't put in this, you think? Anybody?
I know some people do, but I wouldn't put like tomato in there. I feel like that would get mushy and nasty. And
yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'd get too watery, kind of.
Yeah, but I know some people do put cooked tomato in some things. And I mean, if it was like a spaghetti sauce, I'd say it'd be okay. But like, I know people put tomato in dishes like this, and I don't like it.
I guess
maybe sun-dried tomatoes or something like that, chopped up.
Yeah.
If you like tomato.
That would be probably a better option, but the tomatoes just get too watery.
Or if you had a raw tomato that's pretty dry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but so Kroger has brown tomatoes. Have you ever heard of that?
What kind?
I've seen them.
They're brown. They're called brown tomatoes.
Well, there's an heirloom variety. There's an heirloom variety, a couple heirloom varieties that are very dark.
Yeah,
tomato.
Like they are literally brown.
Yeah.
And then what about the greens? Any kind of greens, like collard greens?
If you're gonna add any kind of greens like that, I would do it at the very end for a few seconds, because your greens are gonna wilt so bad and soak up all that water and just be nasty.
Also, I mean, greens are really high in moisture too.
Yeah.
Part of this is you're trying to make a really dry stir fry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want stuff that's very moist.
Yeah, not like you want some moisture, but you don't want it to. I don't want it to be watery. You know what I mean? And like when we add our sauce and stuff, especially like coconut aminos, that's a very runny liquid.
But I mean, you're just putting a little bit of all that really to make a flavor, a sauce.
Yeah. So mine's ready to add my eggs. So if you want to go ahead and crack your eggs in that, and then just stir it around in the mixture like a scrambled egg.
Okay, I'm still chopping onions, haven't gotten to the bell pepper. I'm way behind. So if you go too much faster, I will be interrupting, and I don't mean to.
Lulu,
oh, you're fine.
Lulu, you actually got here on time, though. That's good. She usually goes to the store about 30 minutes before the show to get everything.
Or during the show.
Yeah, I saw the message.
That's what I did, and I couldn't find any rice noodles. So there was none in the whole store. So I don't know if you can make it with wheat noodles.
That was the one thing I had, because I cooked and made a lot of stuff with rice noodles.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure. Or you can omit the noodles and use the zucchini noodles.
Oh.
But he can't have wheat. That's why he uses rice noodles.
Oh.
In a family picnic recently, someone in the family made vegetarian egg rolls, and I ate like 6, and I was sick the next day, but I was depressed the next day. It was like hungover. But
I don't have a spiralizer, so I can't make zucchini noodles.
That's okay. You can just dice them.
Uh-huh. I see that's what Orr's doing.
yeah, I'm draining the water back. I just cooked the zucchini, and now I want it to stay pretty dry.
Yeah, I'm checking mine.
Yeah, I've never used ground chicken. I really like this.
It's a way to change it up too, the texture and stuff, because sometimes food can get boring. So even just going from a chicken breast to ground chicken can change your mind about a meal. Make it a little more.
I was always of the mentality, if you didn't see the bone in the chicken, is it really chicken?
Oh, yeah.
That was always me. Like, you know, I always like buying a whole chicken and cooking it, but I like this. It's already colorful, but now because I'm making a really big batch,
yeah, and add some seasoning to this mixture too. Be creative too. If you guys have any other extra ideas of a seasoning to add to it other than onion, garlic, sea salt.
I probably put a little garlic chili paste.
Oh, okay.
But you want, with Thai food, you want to really hit all the flavor centers. So you want what's spicy, salty, sour. Well, we'll have sour because we got lime.
Yes.
We've got
umami.
Sour.
Umami.
Umami is the ketchup.
Where's everybody at?
Like, you mean in the world or in the cooking?
No.
Lulu's like, still chopping. I can see her chopping.
We've got like 4 countries logged in.
Oh, okay. I mean, with the recipe.
Mainly I'm slow because I'm making a really big batch. So.
Oh, okay.
I just cracked in a dozen eggs, so.
Oh, wow.
A dozen, wow.
But you see my pot. All right. I'm gonna just steam it real quick. I still have carrots to do. I don't have the spiralizer, but I have this hand one that see, it made the carrots like this shape.
Oh yeah.
So I went online, and the substitutes they have for spiralizers are you can peel real thick with a potato peeler and then slice it lengthwise. You can do large grate, you know, real long on your box grater of the biggest hole. And the third one was a mandolin, which that's what I ended up doing, was the mandolin. So
yeah, I used a peeler on my carrots.
And then did you slice them or did you leave them fat?
The carrots I just left like this.
Yeah, that's cool. And when are you adding the garlic?
You can add it in this.
Okay.
I guess it matters if you want the fresh taste or the really cooked taste, yeah? Like Italian style where you put some in the beginning and you put some at the end.
Yeah. I always season in the beginning and then as I go and then again at the end just to kind of hold flavor, because I feel like a lot of times it gets lost or people only season like one time throughout the recipe. You know what I mean?
When's the carrots going in?
I'm getting ready to put mine in now. So after you've cooked up the chicken and peppers and egg together and the onion, then add the carrots in.
Yeah, I always thought to put the carrots right at the beginning, but then I guess it would cook them down too much.
Yeah, I don't really want them that mushy. I left mine like this, and since I peeled it with a peeler.
And that sounds like a lot of work. You peeled them and then spiralized them?
No, I didn't spiralize the carrots.
Oh, okay.
I just took a peel, like a potato peeler, and just shaved it.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing with this. When I make a lot of food, I really like this hand one. It's basically a food processor, but a hand one. So, all right. That whole bunch of carrots.
And then I'm going to cut this down on low since it's done.
All right, you added the carrots to it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much everything, except tossing in lots and lots of flavors, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Low. This is actually, I think this recipe is better to not do a big batch, to do like multiple small batches.
Yeah, I'm only doing a small batch. That's why I had my little mini ramen maker. Plus today is meal prep day for me, so I'm fulfilling all my meals today too. I'm just taking a break.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. What are you making today?
We've got steak. I don't know if I'm saying this word right. I think I always mess it up, but steak gorgonzola. So it's like a, I'm using the beef from Heartland Beef Farm. They're out of Harrisburg. And it's like a Alfredo base. And then sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And obviously pasta. And blue cheese. It calls for blue cheese and Parmesan. And then I'm making these sweet potato wraps. It's like a stuffed sweet potato in foil, and you stuff it with chicken, green salsa. I can't remember everything that's inside it. And then we've got it's waffles, eggs, and bacon meal prep, a breakfast meal prep. I've got Samoa truffles to make. And
Samoa truffles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like little chocolate balls. And I'm trying to remember everything.
So let's see. Now,
blueberry zucchini muffins. I got to do those.
Last week, was it last week? We had yellow curry made from summer squash.
Really?
Yeah, so she's like, you can use zucchini for green curry, or you can use yellow squash for yellow curry. And you're using the exact same spices, but
yeah,
your base is, people end up with all this, they end up eating a lot of vegetables.
Yeah. Which is good. Most people don't get the right amount every day.
All right, so I have everything in there, but we haven't really put much flavors in it. Besides, I put some garlic powder and some garlic.
So I put
to make your sauce, right?
Yeah, we're gonna make the sauce in a sec. So I put onion powder. I added onion powder to mine as well, and sea salt. I think did somebody add chili flakes or red pepper or something?
I actually just tasted it, and it doesn't really need much.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple, like I said, clean version pad thai, but I mean, flavor, as far as the seasoning goes, that's kind of fair game because it's more of a preference thing.
Right.
And after you get all your egg mixture, chicken, veggies cooked up, you can go ahead and add your zucchini noodles.
In.
And I kind of just have mine on low right now.
All right. It's really colorful.
Yeah, I'm probably going to add a little more seasoning after I do that, just because I just added the zucchini noodles.
All right, now I give it another taste with zucchini. But yeah, again, I'm surprised how flavorful it is with very little seasonings in it.
Yeah. The sauce will make it pop too at the end.
All right. So let's see, for sauce, we need ketchup, aminos, vinegar, lime juice, honey, and sriracha.
Yes.
Let's see.
So 2 tablespoons coconut and vinegar. I am obsessed with this stuff. On a salad too, if you're like in a rush, you can just top your salad with this. You really don't need anything else. You could even mix this with some honey, a little bit of honey, and toss that on a salad.
There you go, Howard, another kind of vinegar.
I'm not really a vinegar fan, but I do like coconut vinegar a lot.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like barbecue sauce, because it's usually lots of sugar and lots of vinegar.
Yeah, we were actually looking recently at a few homemade recipes for it to make it our way, because I don't like most of it has the white wine vinegar base in there, and I don't like that.
Can I ask a question? Is the coconut aminos is healthier because it's better than soy sauce, like less salt?
Yeah, that's one reason.
But it's also natural sugars, right?
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's coconut sap, but it's loaded. Like I was saying at the beginning, it's loaded in B vitamins too.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was late coming in.
It's okay.
So probably.
Yeah, it's okay. And B vitamins that's kind of one area that a lot of people are deficient in. So a lot of people
Especially
take
if they're
supplements.
vegetarians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be something good to include in your diet, just to kind of balance that out. But it's a better alternative than soy sauce. Yes, obviously the salt content, but also soy has been known to be a hormone disruptor, especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you pay attention, like I'm sure you've seen in the stores, pretty much all your labels, everything has soy in it. Even if it says tocopherol or parentheses vitamin E, most of that is soy derived.
Oh.
So I avoid it like the plague. I do not. I had some issues a few years ago, and my naturopathic doctor, that was one of the first things she had me omit.
Mm-hmm. And the coconut vinegar is healthier than other vinegars, or? Like, can you substitute apple cider vinegar or rice wine vinegar if you don't have coconut vinegar?
You can. You can. I would just, it depends on the vinegar you're getting. As always, you read your ingredients, because sometimes they, I know with other vinegars in the store, they add things. I like the coconut vinegar because I know with this brand, there's no additives at all. And I'm getting the benefits of all the vitamins and minerals from the coconut tree sap.
Okay.
So I just mixed the coconut vinegar, aminos, ketchup. I'm getting ready to add the honey and sriracha to my little bowl. I'm mixing up.
Sriracha.
What'd you say?
Oh, I've not forget to put sriracha.
Yeah, so I gotta add honey, sriracha.
Right now I'm adding a little lime zest.
Okay.
I figured if I'm going to cut up this lime and put it in, I might as well actually use the skin also, not waste it.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
There we go. Got the little zester, and there's the lime all de-zested. Now,
I'm going to squeeze a little lime in my little stir fry mixture here.
I'm sorry, I was driving. Couldn't see everything.
Yeah. So.
I like the flavor, like a little zest of lime or lemon in my food.
Now, does anybody like? I have gone and not wanted to waste it, and like literally the whole skin, chopped it up really fine when I'm making a really big batch. But this part of the skin is much more bitter. So unless you're making a really big batch, I wouldn't use it. But
I've never done that. It sounds like a good idea, though.
I don't know. I grew up in a very poor family, and we didn't waste anything.
Oh, I get it.
So if I don't, I will save this and add it to my veggie broth. Like I keep a bag of all the carrot ends and anything that might have flavor, and I fill up a freezer bag. And then that's what I make my veggie broth with.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, so.
I really like that you're using ketchup for the unami instead of fish sauce. Then you this is my favorite ketchup, the Simple Truth ketchup, no sugar added. So I get this at Kroger. I don't know where everybody's at and what they have available, but I like that this has tomato and this has balsamic in it and sea salt, carrot puree, onion powder, red pepper, organic spices, and that's it. I've been dreaming of someone making a local ketchup, and I heard there is somebody working on it.
Yeah, that would be nice, huh?
It's like, I mean, I think it's just because I've had African curries that were tomato based, and they basically just cooked the tomatoes to death, and it tasted like ketchup. Basically, I was just like, so the sauce itself, we're not putting that with the mix, right?
No, you are. You can go ahead once you got your sauce made, and you can add your noodles and your sauce at the same time and stir it up in your mixture.
So what I was thinking to do is toss the noodles in the sauce before I add it in there. I have a lot. And
oh, yeah.
It might be a little easy.
As far as making this and saucing everything up, it's just me, and I have, a pound of noodles. Would you recommend only mixing up what I'm going to eat right now and keep like the noodles and the meat and the vegetables and the sauce separate for right now? Or how would you handle it if you're making this in advance?
Yeah, you can do that. Or you can go ahead and meal prep everything else together and keep your noodles separate.
So go ahead and put the sauce in the meat and the vegetables.
Yeah, you can do that, and that would be okay. I wouldn't add the noodles to it, only because they'll just get really soggy.
I just basically make the noodles right before you eat, and
yeah,
only basically meal prep everything else. So I have, what is it? 28 ounces, 800 grams of dried noodles. That's really a lot.
Are you gonna feed your neighbors?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do. I do charity cooking.
Oh.
That's my whole shtick. In September, you could join us because it'll be 6 years full-time cooking, 2 years full-time online.
Wow.
And we're just going to do a potluck. So everybody's gonna, from all over the world, are gonna showcase their favorite dish. And then of course tease each other because we're not in the same place. So, but, all right. So, because I have too much, I'm gonna have to dump all this out and just do the noodles separately, as usual. So, there, all the sauce is soaked into the noodles. So, lots and lots. So, any other tips? Any other questions? It sounds like we're almost wrapping up. It's almost time.
Yeah, you can top it. You can top it with cilantro too if you want. Add a little flavor kick.
Like, I'm not allergic to cilantro where it tastes like soap, but I prefer parsley, which is.
Me too.
I forgot to put sriracha. How could I do that? So, but yeah, I like, so yeah, I'm making almost a tray of goodies. So, I'm gonna stir fry this real quick. All right. Any other questions?
Was this a Weight Watchers recipe because you get additional points if you have peanuts, right?
No, it wasn't it wasn't a weight loss one, I don't believe.
No, just you get points if you have peanuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
I counted Weight Watchers points a long time.
You quit counting or you start counting?
I quit.
I did hear a good Weight Watchers joke. The person wanted to lose weight and they said, "Hey, can someone come around my house?" And they're like, "Can someone come around?" And like, well, we have a lot of those, as in round people.
Oh,
that wasn't funny, was it?
My favorite is I saw a bumper sticker that said Weight Watchers are for losers.
Oh.
I'm really good at hide and seek. Anytime I lose weight, I find it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So there's my veggie mix, and I'm cooking the noodles down a little bit to put it on top, but it cooks really quick if you be careful with either the fresh noodles or the noodles you've soaked.
Yeah, usually those rice noodles and others, they say to have ice water to dump them in after they're cooked so they don't overcook.
So did you soak your noodles or?
Yeah, I soaked them.
Water?
I had this big bowl and I soaked the whole big bag for, 15 minutes or so. And then if I was doing this properly, I would just do a single batch at a time. So I have this ready and we just like put a little oil, put the noodles in there, and then stir fry just a single batch and put it on the plate and then put the stuff already ready.
Well, I couldn't find any rice noodles in the store, but I thought you just would cook them in water and then drain them, and
you could do
you
that,
didn't have to
but
fry them.
you want
You have to fry them?
Cook them very short time, like these thick
In
noodles
in boiling
water, maybe 2 minutes. Just like
but if you've soaked them for 15 minutes, you definitely have to stir fry them. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Or you can still boil them, but then it's just quite literally a minute. It's just in and out. But it just seems like the soaked noodles come out so much better. And then, I mean, if you can get like these are fresh noodles that are, pressure packed and then frozen. So, then, I mean, let's see the directions on here. Soak even the fresh ones. It says soak the noodles for about 10 minutes, heat, put all your stuff in there, and add the noodles and stir fry 20 seconds. So it says.
Pretty short time.
Yeah. So, but will do. All right. Anybody have some final questions? And then we can stop the recording and all sit down and eat together. And then we can talk about what's happening in the different countries around the world.
There's mine.
Looks good, Lulu.
Lulu caught up.
Good, Lulu.
All right.
Hot damn. I think next time I will throw my noodles in the sauce for a while because they're looking pretty kind of just plain, and maybe make a little extra sauce because I know that the noodles will soak up that flavor.
Yeah.
And the rice noodles that I could find at my store are from a Taste of Thai rice noodle, and they're linguine. They say to use tap water and soak them for 25 to 30 minutes. I had to do 2 kettles full of boiling water to get them cooked. But these things are rather thick. They're not like the vermicelli. They're the real.
Pad Thai noodles are pretty thick.
Yeah.
So, but.
I was thinking of making this with the wheat noodles, but I think I'll go looking for rice noodles, make it more authentic. The Thais would never make pad Thai with wheat noodles, would they?
Now that if you want to make pad Thai, the flavor is tamarind.
Tamarind sauce.
That's what makes pad Thai.
Oh.
I think for the most part, noodles are carriers of the sauce. Rice, wheat, I think that flavor doesn't always come through depending upon what the sauce is, and so I don't know.
My favorite is soba, buckwheat soba noodles is my favorite.
But they have strong flavors, and those are delicious.
And you can have those, eat those cold.
And buckwheat is gluten-free.
That's right.
Except most buckwheat noodles, they add wheat flour, so they're not.
They do add wheat flour to them.
Yeah. Buckwheat itself.
Unless you make them yourself, yeah.
But
I think
look on the label.
Buckwheat is not a wheat and is gluten-free, but a lot of buckwheat noodles have wheat flour.
Not a lot, most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
I think.
I thought there was a number of grains, and maybe it's barley that still has gluten.
All right. Do you guys have any questions for our chef? All right. Thank you so much for sharing this.
No problem.
I especially like that we're able to use more readily available in America ingredients like ketchup instead of having to use tamarind and fish sauce. And honestly, I can't tell the difference, the taste. So
I do like fish sauce, but you don't want to go overboard with it.
Yeah.
Well, fish sauce goes a long way.
I have to get back to work, but I appreciate you guys letting me do this.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.